Yes, you are on.
Great. And I am here today on celebrate.life.me on reggae.com. And it is the second day of a new week. And this week we are doing psychological health. Last week we did physical health. And yesterday we did psychological health, bearing in mind our 4 rules of Celebrate Life. And what are these? These are: 1, know where you're going; 2, know your driver; 3, pay as you enter; and 4, enjoy the ride. And as usual, I have today all my little reminders and mascots. And over here, my number one. This is an angel, and this angel is holding a book. And this book is telling Jamaica what we need to know. Who is the angel? Well, an angel is a messenger of Satan. Oh, I did it again. There are messengers of Satan, but this angel is a messenger from God, right? And how do you know who the messenger comes from? What the message is. Because the message has to be the same thing that's in the book. And so this angel is telling us what the book is saying about Jamaica, and what the book is saying about Jamaicans, and what the book is saying about every single individual one of us. And so this is my favorite. This is who I identify with. And so every day I come to you with my book, which I sit down and I write off things from. Sometimes I use my iPad, to put that over here. But sometimes I write off things from this book into this book. And so here am I. Do I look like her? Or him? Or the angel? Because they don't have any sex, Uh-uh. But guess what? They bring information from the creator as to how we should operate, what we should do, how we should move, how we shouldn't move, what we should say. Every single thing you need for life is in this book. And so this is what we are bringing to you here on Reggae to Reggae, the best of what is intended for Jamaica to move forward into her purpose and her destiny. And so the only way we can do that is to move the individual Jamaicans forward into our destiny and into our purpose for being created. And that's the purpose of Celebrate Life, to show you how you can celebrate every moment of the day as you move towards the purpose that you were created for. Because remember, every single one of us was created as a solution to a problem. Yesterday, I went to the most magnificent seminar. It was called The Art and Science of Happiness, and it was put on by CLI, that is Choose Life International. And they went through all the different things that we need to do to be happy. They all came out of this book. But guess what? They were corroborated by research from all the different people all over the world. Psychiatrists and psychologists and scientists and researchers and doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs and all sorts of ordinary people. And people who had used those principles and were successful. We saw 3 videos. One of this young man who had no hands and no feet. It was so exciting. The other one was of this other man who was paralyzed from here down. Those of us who are older remember Joni Erickson Tada, and she was the same thing. She was a female who was paralyzed from here down in a swimming accident, I think, and he was in a surfing accident. And how he was able to overcome all these situations and become a motivational speaker. All of them are motivational speakers. And guess what? You know that is what we are all called to be, motivational speakers. Some of us motivate the world. Some of us motivate our country. Some motivate our family. And some motivate ourselves. But guess what? That is what we are all called to be, motivational speakers. And there was another one. And that one, oh, had no hands, but he had feet. It was a she. That's right. And guess what? She had a fear. She could do everything like anybody. You must see her type with her toes, right? You must see her paint, do everything with her toes. Well, she had a fear of flying. And so she decided that she's going to get a pilot's license. And you want to see her pulling up the throttle and turning the thing, steering the plane up in the sky. And she got her pilot's license because she was so competent. No hands, only feet. And that is why why I want to share this with you? Because we need to understand that we have been so blessed. If those people can get to those heights and achieve those things without what we call all the normal appendages, well, guess what? What is our excuse? So, today we are going to look at, in the psychological realm, knowing your driver. Remember, number one, know where you're going, which we did yesterday. Number two, knowing your driver. Number three, pay as you enter, which is tomorrow. And number four, enjoy the ride, which is on Friday. So tomorrow and Thursday, you are going to hear about your input into what you need to do to make sure that you put your contribution in so that you can reap the rewards. And the last thing I want to say in this first section is this. We need to understand that when we were created by the author of this book, and that's not Moses, it is our Creator. We were created without any mistake. If you are born with a congenital issue, an issue that you were born with something so-called wrong, it's not a mistake. I tell you about that, I was born with 4 ankles because I was destined to be a dancer. So guess what? Look at your drawback and know that it is a stepping stone to your future, to your destiny. And so we need to just embrace wherever we are at and understand that the Creator makes no mistakes. And the sooner we recognize that, accept it, and act on it, the sooner we'll be sailing towards our intended end. And what is that? The Creator had a plan. He had a plan in mind to make you and to make me the solution to so many issues that He put into each of His creation. And remember, He's not a His, but for purposes of calling Him, I'll just call Him a His. But I could have called Him a hers too, because guess what? He's like a hen that has her chickens under her wing for protection. So let's just move on and call Him the Creator. I don't want anybody to come and say that He's not a him and a her, and I'm not to say no mother, father, God. That's not the issue. The issue is our Creator is a father, a mother, and in all His aspects, a brother, a son, a husband, anything we need. He can be like that to us. I'm getting downloads and stuff in my mind. So when you see my face goes like that, it means that, should I say this on air or not? Not for that one. But back to our Creator, He never makes a mistake. Consequently, if you have what you consider to be a flaw or a fault, part of your purpose in life and your destiny is the embracing of that flaw and the overcoming of what could be seen as the negatives or the drawbacks of that particular flaw. So if you're too fat, there's a reason. If you're sick, there's a reason. So that when you have overcome, and this is the reason, when you have overcome that flaw, then it builds all this character, all this strength. And guess what? Gives you the ability to now be a part of the solution for everybody else who will come up with that flaw. And that is the purpose of sickness. Another reason for sickness is this, that the only time some people stop is when they get licked down and have to lie down in the bed, right? So you find that most people come into their real and true destiny as a result of tragedy of one sort or the other. And so we need to learn to embrace tragedy, embrace those things with a joyful spirit. I do it with anticipation because every time anything pop down, really pop down, then it's time for me to get excited because something is coming up. Anything pop down, something is coming up. Because when it is down, the only place it can move is up. So you need to bear that in mind. When it comes to directions, you need to know that every time there is a downward draft, there will be an upward surge. And guess what? Draft moves slow, but surge moves fast. And so we need to embrace those downward drafts because it's preparing us to go down. Yeah, but try and run down the hill now to be like on a push cart, Darby, to go down the hill. So that when you go down really fast, you can just come up. When we there, one day when I used to have a little mini, I was coming down Ligany Avenue, going towards Ligany End. And you know that last place, dip and come back up before you get to Southgate? Yes, my dear, I decided to do the upward surge. And I go down in the thing. This is a long time ago, you know. Down, and when I come up, I just press the gas up. My dear, when I reach the top of the hill, I was off airborne. Boom! Airborne and drop back on. Thank you, Jesus. That you cover my stupidity because I dropped back on the four wheels. Don't try that, you know. Don't try it. Because while God have your back, after a while, when He gives you more and more wisdom, you have a responsibility to do your part. And don't push it. So, don't push it. But remember that that downward surge gives you the ability to come up and get airborne. And then the next draft carries you and you just soar on wings as eagles. And remember, part of our process here as grubs and caterpillars and worms is that one day the caterpillar is going to become a butterfly and then he will be set free to soar. And that's the name of one of my programs that I have been doing for years in the inner city, where we take persons who are going to be a part of a certain program to get houses from certain government agencies, and we train them how to take off when they get those houses, where those houses will not now deteriorate pardon me, into slums, but they will rival the uptown gated communities. And so when you go in to look at those developments now that are in probably about 8 different inner cities, it was because they got that training of how to move from a caterpillar to a butterfly, set free to soar. And you know what I use as my text? I use Alvin Day's book, If Caterpillars Can Fly, So Can I. And so I just expanded it and added my husband's book, Earl's 7 Steps to Healing and Health. And then When both of them were together, I just did this course. It was fabulous. And it's a course that is available to anybody who'd like to write to me for it. It is a 3-month program and it can reorient your whole mindset so that you can get ready to take off from your disadvantage, from the caterpillar place into the butterfly stage, and you will be ready to soar and take off. So when we come back, we look at some more of the steps that we have to take as we look at Know Your Driver, because that is what we are covering today regarding psychological health. Taking a break. See you back in a second or two. Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Saw a bird flew down this morning as if he's saying something to me. Sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody.
I was just draining my green drink. Every day on the show, I have a green drink because I have a green drink at 6:10, 6:10. But when I'm coming on the show, I need an extra kick. And so I have my green drink right before the show or during the show because that gives me all the energy. Remember, when we were doing physical health, we spoke about the greens, and everybody, in order to be very, very healthy, you need to keep your blood in good condition. The life of the human being is in the blood. And for that to be built, you need to have 5 chlorophyll servings a day. And that way, you'll be good to go. Always have energy. Why is this so important? Every day I give you a different fact. Well, one, it builds, the chlorophyll has the same molecular structure as hemoglobin in your blood. So it is like a blood transfusion when you do that. And so it's important to understand what you get from green. The second thing is, it is a major contributory factor to building your stem cells. Bet you didn't know we all have stem cells. Every single one of us has stem cells. Now, what is the function of a stem cell? Stem cells are cells in their primary form that can swim around your whole bloodstream. And guess what? Find wherever there's a defective, deficient, or absent cell and replace it. And guess what? These are manufactured in our bone marrow. And the main building material is chlorophyll or green stuff. More on that tomorrow when I'm having my green drink. But bear that in mind. Now, you know that whenever I have my number 2, no, this is my number 3 mascot on the show. This is number 1, this is number 2, my lion of the tribe of Judah, right? And this is number 3. But she's not always on the show. Her name is Raggedy, and she is my coordinate, meaning that whatever I make for myself, she's always in a coordinate. So today, you notice we have what we call an asymmetrical hairstyle. So you sort of bring this side forward like this, and she, come on, you bring it over here. But anyway, so yeah, right. And so because I am in transition with my hair, I cut 10 inches off yesterday, and I am now doing styles that, we both have about the same hair length relative that can work at any length. Wait until it comes down to nothing. I will also have wonderful styles for you to do. So here we have her, and she has on, well, her dress is sort of long, right? But the reason is that this is a piece that I made for a girlfriend of mine. My dear, I said, why don't you come and spend the night with me? And she came over and forgot her nightie. So guess what I said? Let me just knock up a nightie for you. So I got a light piece of cotton and just knocked it up. And then when I put it out, it's a sort of a flare look, swing flare, what have you. And when I put it on, because I tried everything on me, it doesn't matter whether the fact that she is X size is bigger. I tried it on and I said, oh, it's a wonderful style. Let me make one for myself. So here is mine. And I coordinated mine with pants. And this is one of my standard dancers costumes. You can have it with or without sleeves. But it's easy to move in, it's cool, it's comfortable, and it's well covered. So here is hers, a little long. But because it's not really hers, but I wanted her to show that, there's versatility here. Hers has a empire line, right? It has a band right under the bust line. If you'd like to accentuate the bust line, then an empire line is good. It makes you look a little more endowed. And so remember, these pieces can be ordered online from CelebrateLife.me. So give us your measurements, and we have a form. You can fill it out, you can choose your fabric, and we can have these all made for yourself and your dance groups, or just for yourself if you want to have a cool time on the road. So thank you, Raggedy. And now we're going to go into the meat of our thing. And she's going to go have a seat on the lion and the tribe of Judah. Now, keep your hand on his head, because that's where all information comes from. Right. Now, into the meat of our program now. Remember, today we're doing psychological health. And since I'm not matching her, let me get that back over there. And we are doing knowing your driver. That means you've got to know what the driver has to say and who he is. Because guess what? If you want to come back into psychological health, that means mental health and so on. It means that you have to follow what he says in the book, his rules. So you have to know who he is, because guess what? He is the one who has the ability to do everything that you need to have done. Yesterday, we mentioned what psychological health has to do with. Two things: your emotions, which you have with yourself, and your relationships, which you have with everybody else. So when you think that your emotions are with other people, forget it. It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself. So if you're angry, you're really angry with yourself. If you're vexed, it's you're vexed with. If you have low self-esteem, then guess what? It's because you have made that choice. Everything we do has to do with the choices we make. And we also told you on yesterday's program, and I'm so glad I did this before I went to the happiness seminar. We told you on yesterday's program, the fact that What you think can pop into your head anyway, but you can change what you think by what you speak. So there's a cycle, and I don't know which is the chicken and which is the egg. But here how it goes. You think something, it makes you feel a certain way. And because you feel a certain way, you say a certain thing. And because you say a certain thing, you have activated creative forces because that's a part of how you're made in the Creator's image. Because the Creator spoke and everything came into being. And similarly, we can speak and everything we speak shall come into being, whether it's good or bad. And we spoke about the fact that whatever we speak plants a seed. So if your child is doing badly in school and you say to them, you're going to be done just like your big brother or your uncle or your father, you have planted a seed and every day you water it by saying things like, why, I don't know how you can have so much duck egg. I don't know how you can get so much milk. I don't know. You water it by saying those things. And then that grows. But guess what? You know you can starve it. You can starve it. You can starve it and you stop saying those bad things about your child. At any point you start to starve it. And then you start to speak the opposite thing. And you overpower the first words with the second set of words. It just shrivel up and die, and a new seed is planted that is going to come up and be lush and lovely, and it's going to bear wonderful fruit. Not bitter fruit, sweet fruit. So remember, what you say is going to influence not only what you do, but what the other person is going to grow up and do. But guess what? If you are on the receiving end, you can change it yourself. You can say, I will not take the seed, I will not put it into the good soil of my heart or my spirit. I will not accept it. I'm going to stand up on top of it. Right? We have power over the power of the enemy. Put him under our feet. Stand up on top of it. Stamp him out. After all, kill him dead. So we can decide that we are going to grind him down into the dust. And how do we do that? By using these words. So every time somebody speaks a bad or negative word over you, you are going to overpower it by speaking the truth. Guess what? What they're speaking may be the facts. We spoke about the facts and the truth yesterday. The facts are what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you feel, and what you actually experience. Because it's right there in front of you. You see, we can't look on this and say it does not exist. But guess what? You can get, the facts can change. The truth can change. Facts can change. Because you see, right here, not beautiful red hair. And then I come here and decide I tie this red hair. I just cut it off, or I just dye it. Like what I'm doing tonight. Right now, I made a bad choice and dyed mine. After all, God never made me with no blonde hair. So what am I doing with blonde hair? So I decided that I'm cutting it off progressively to get rid of the dye. And then I am going to allow my real hair to come out. Now, this is my real hair, but it's not the real color. And God, don't make no mistake, You know, some of us gray early, some of us gray later. Those who gray early, God knows you will look fabulous with gray hair. Those who gray late, God knows they wouldn't look fabulous with gray hair, so I make you keep the black hair. You understand? He always does what's best for you. And that is a concept that all of us need to embrace. What does embrace mean? Hug it up. Don't let it go. Embrace it. Because once we embrace it and accept it, then we will be happy with it. And that's what we want to do every day of our lives. Because That's the only way you are going to enjoy the ride. And so remember, the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But he has come to give us life and life more abundantly. That means that you have abundant health, abundant wealth, abundant peace, love, and joy, so that you can expand the kingdom of God. Where did I get that from? I got it from Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. And it says this: it is the Lord your Creator, God, who gives you health, so that you can acquire a whole heap of wealth. And when you acquire all of that wealth, you use it to expand His kingdom. And that's what we are all made for, every single one of us. Time for a break. Tell you more about this when we come back.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com, when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space.
I guess he's trying to tell me something that I should know about this new wind.
Okay, we're back. And now we're going to look at some more about knowing your driver. First of all, you've got to know the purpose for which you are created. Remember, that I gave you some indications as to how you can find what the purpose is. One is your major disadvantage. 2 is your dreams and your visions. And the more, unattainable they are, better, because then you know that definitely you cannot do this by yourself. You need the help of the Almighty to do this. And so your Creator knows, because He puts those visions in you. He puts those daydreams in you. It wasn't just from your own mind and your own big imagination. Because guess what? He says that He wants to do exceeding abundantly above all that you can ask or think. And let me tell you something. Me, I have an imagination bar none. I don't know anybody in this world who has an imagination like me. And guess what? I'm not afraid to ask. I am not afraid to ask for what I imagine. And guess what? I get it every time. And whatever I haven't gotten so far, it's because the Lord wants to make it bigger and better and get all the different persons and players in place to support and be a resource for the next step. So guess what? You think the old days were good? What does my Creator say? Your latter end will be greater than whatever went before the former. And so guess what? Every day gets better and better. Every day I step up and run. It doesn't matter what happens, whether it is life or death or sickness or problems, economic situation. That don't face me one bit because guess what? Who is my provider? And whether I have in the bank or in my little purse or in my debit card account is neither here nor there. When I know who my creator is, he is the one who says, I will supply all your needs. And remember, there are some people out there, some screaming people who baptize in lime juice, who talk about, yes, he's going to supply my needs for food, shelter, and clothing. I said, does that sound like abundant life? Excuse me, no. The reason I came and gave over my whole life to my Creator when I was age 7 was because I like plenty things. And the preacher did preach about abundant life. And I never understand the whole thing, but I just understand the word abundant. And because I like plenty pretty dress and plenty shoes and plenty toys and plenty, I decided maybe I should do this thing. And guess what? All my life, I've been a collector. About 5 years ago, when I checked my art collection, I had 400 pieces. I started collecting when I was 15 in my mother's house, and I would just push them under the bed. And then after that, I decided to do my own artwork. Had no training whatsoever. So me and a friend got together, and we decided that we're going to make all these, modern art pieces. So we got into this factory and got around the spray room, and then we got the spray table, the spray table that turns around and they put the furniture on it, and you just spray them, so you can get rotated. Well, my dear, we put a drill under the spray table, and on top of the table, we put some pieces of paper. And then we got all kind of different color paints, and we just put them out in some little cups, like some little tins, containers. And then we put the drill on low speed. And one of us put on a piece of plastic and go under the table, and then start the drill man. And then the other one just throw the paint on it, and as the table spin, it just flash this here and flash that there and flash that there. And sometimes we just did a little slow thing, sometimes we throw it on. We ended up with something close to 100 different pieces of artwork. And guess what? Some look like a cockfight. Some just came out like all sorts of things. Just like how sometimes you look at the clouds and you see all sorts of different shapes. That's how it came out. And guess what? We decided we were going to open a company and sell all this artwork. And we sure did. I remember way back, I don't know when it was, maybe the 70s or the 80s. We went down to the tourist board on Harbour Street and we said, can we exhibit our pieces on your fence? And they said yes. And every day we went out and put all the art pieces hanging from the tourist board fence right around, down, is it Duke Street? Whatever street. And we sold most of the pieces and eventually took some for posterity. I have got to see if I can find one or two of those pieces and show it to you. Right? So guess what? You don't have to have any talent in any area. All you have to have is a dream or an idea. And guess what? Put it into practice. And the person who put the idea there is going to bring it to pass. So remember that you were made as a solution to a problem, but more importantly, you were made with a plan, a step-by-step plan. And the plan is not to harm you. The plan is not to hurt you. The plan is to give you a hope, something always to look forward to, a future. And what is the end, the expected end? To make you prosperous and successful. Everybody, whether you are mentally challenged, physically challenged, financially challenged, socially challenged, or any other eye challenged. Because if it is the Creator who put that plan and that dream and that vision into you, He is going to bring it to pass. That's why you need to know your driver. Because the driver of this journey that I am on is a super driver. He don't cut no corners. So you got to wait and do the thing the proper way. This morning my secretary comes and I said to her, why are you late? She said to me, traffic. I said, traffic? I said, what happened? Well, I left the same time yesterday. And I was early yesterday. I said, what is different? You know what she said to me? She says that yesterday the taxi that she take drive outside of the line, come out of the line and take out a shortcut. And they want today sit down in the line and would not move until the traffic moved. I said, well, guess what? That means you need to leave early tomorrow, earlier, so that you can take the taxi that stay in the line. Because you don't know the risk you put yourself at when you have a driver who will not obey the rules. And this driver obeys the rules. Not only does he get you there safely and soundly, but guess what? He gets you there in good time. But he's not going to cut no rules because you leave late. So guess what? Now is the time. Not tomorrow. These are those people who say, tomorrow I'll go on a tomorrow I will go on a diet. Tomorrow I'm going to change this. Tomorrow never comes. So today is when you are going to make those adjustments. Start now. Because the earlier you start, the more rewards you're getting at the end. The more you plan up front, the more at the end. But that is a subject for tomorrow when we do pay as you enter. But today we're doing know your driver. Because if you do not know the driver and his capabilities, his ways, his procedures, how he works, then you're going to go in there and think that you must get to the destination in X time, not knowing that he is going to follow the rules. Because it's more important for you to develop patience, to develop all the character that you need to develop, which takes time. So that is when I learned the meaning of another principle and way that he made me here. Count it all joy. When you fall into all sort of bangarang and stress and problem, and because if you sit down in it and you not just endure, but enjoy the ride as you're going along, at the end of it, you'll find out that you have plenty muscles, man, and you can deal with anything after that. Wow! We have all heard the story of this man who was given the responsibility of pushing this big boulder, moving the boulder. The boulder weighed tons. And he was told to go out there and move the boulder. An impossible task. Every day he go out there and he push and the boulder don't even move an inch. Well, month passed, he was supposed to do this for 3 months. Still don't move. Boy, when it come to 2 months, he go back to God and say, God, why I don't think this boulder can move at all. So maybe I wasted my time. He says, you have a responsibility to follow through. And I'm here to tell you that in push, and when month 3 finished, the boulder did not move an inch. But the boulder is a huge, humongous rock, big like almost like a house. Not a little house. And he says, well, clearly I have failed. And when he came into complain to the Creator that he tried his best, but he just couldn't move the boulder. The Creator said, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. He said, take off your clothes and put on your bathing trunks and look in the mirror. Well, you could take off your clothes and put on your bathing trunks and come in the mirror. Ha ha ha. You know what he saw? Every muscle in perfect condition. Ripped. Talk about a six-pack. Talk about biceps and triceps. Talk about shoulders and neck muscles. Talk about everything. Glutes. Everything in perfect condition. That was the Creator's objective. But sometimes you get a task to do and you don't realize that actually, what should I say, being successful at what you have been given is not about what happens as a result. It's about the process, the obedience to what you have been told to do. I have so many situations where I'm told to do X and I don't see a thing happen after I do X. But I have learned from that story that what is most important in doing things that you are told is one thing, the obedience to the instructions. That is all the Creator needs. I learned that from a great friend of mine who is a prophetess. She's on TVN. And do you know everything that she says comes true. So I know she's a true prophet. Well, I am here to tell you. She said the first time she, in her church, got up and told this lady who's in a wheelchair for 20 odd years, as a young lady she was, that she's going to get up and walk. And the lady never budged. And she was castigated by her leaders. How dare you come and do this and blah, 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 blah. You know something? Years later, the lady get up and walk. Well, I remember that story. One day I was sitting, talking around with some of my friends and this girl said, "Me dear, I have this back thing. I've been to Benny King. I've been to here and I've been to there and not moving." I said, "Do you really believe God can heal you? He can heal you without medicine, He can heal you with anybody." And she looked at me and she said, "You think that He can heal you with anybody? Well, you try. Because I believe God can heal you with anybody." And I said, "Oh, no problem, no problem." And I just ran my hand on her back. I said, "In the name of Jesus, be healed. This pain is going to go. If you believe that Jesus can do it, it doesn't matter who you uses. Be healed in Jesus' name." And all of a sudden, she just started to open up her eyes and she said she felt something warm running up her spine. Do I have the gift of healing? Covet earnestly the best gifts, and whatever you covet, you can have. So, what was I thinking of then? I could not care less whether she had responded in that way or not. Because several times after that, I have done things like that and have had no response. But guess what? Don't faze me one bit, because my objective is just following the instructions. It is not my responsibility to see or to look to find out what has happened, because that is His responsibility. The Creator will decide what He wants to do out of this, when He wants to do it, when is the best time. I am just here to plant the seed. So let us all be farmers as we close out, knowing who our driver is, because our driver is all powerful. And you don't have to have any power. Although He has given you authority, power, but you need to follow the instructions given. And guess what? If you follow the instructions given, you get 100% marks every time. It's not about the results. It's about following the instructions of your driver. So know your driver. He is the Almighty One. He is the one who can do everything. And I want to leave with you my favorite of who he is. His favorite name is called El Shaddai. And you know what that means? The Almighty One. But literally it means the many-breasted God. And so I always think of him, like you have on a chain and a necklace. But guess what? This chain and this necklace, it have plenty of strands. But this one have just things hanging down all over. Hundreds and hundreds of breasts hanging down from all on the hands and in the back and on from the head. Like an animal that has a whole heap of breasts, like a dog that is, feeding the little dogs, the puppies. He has probably 12, But guess what? 6, 8, this one has hundreds. There is a breast for everything. And so, whenever I need anything, I just say, listen, El Shaddai, come on, turn on your back and get this one. Because I am getting whatever there is for me. So remember, the many-breasted God. Know the driver. Your driver can supply everything you need. Every moment of the day. And I want to back up and make you understand his love. Gives and gives and gives. And it is unconditional. It is everlasting. Doesn't matter where you're at any point in time, you can decide, I'm going to patch into this love. I'm going to embrace this love. Because that, as we are going to talk about tomorrow, is the only way you can understand that you will be successful, you will be prosperous, and you will be able to do what the book says. That's right. Trying it, doing it, stepping out there. You don't have to have any ability of yourself. And so tomorrow, we're going to be doing pay as you enter. And before you come on, I would like you to go through 1 or 2 today and yesterday. Okay. Bring this back up on Celebrate Live, on Reggae to Reggae, and go through and make some notes and ask some questions and do all of that so that when you come on tomorrow and it's time to pay as you enter, you are ready to go to take your notes. So, I have a little announcement today. Don't go away, stay tuned, because we're having a special, right after my show, every day. We have Neil Haley. He's from Total Tutor Network, and he interviews the most excited NFL players and past players. Well, this time he's going to be doing Moise for Cool. I don't know, Moise for Cool. It is MOISE and he is one of those NFL stars that I know all you guys and even some of you ladies will not want to miss. So stay tuned for Neil Haley from Total Tutor Network, and see you tomorrow to get ready to pay as you enter. Celebrate Live on reggae2reggae.com.
A new wind that's gonna blow. It's the raining of the heathen coming down on my people, taking the goodness of life and rendering